Today, on our topic of evangelism, I want to talk briefly about how to start off a spiritual conversation. Now, if you've ever done street evangelism before, or have heard someone, maybe someone has come up to you and try to start a spiritual conversation with you, they might have used this question: why should God let you in to heaven? Now, today I want us to think about what is the emphasis of this question here, and is this a particularly good question to start off with when we're doing evangelism? Now, I would happen to say that this is not a good question to use. Why? Well, the reason why I think this is a poor question to use is because the emphasis of where this question leads to. I ask you, does this question lead towards God? Is God the focal point of this question, or is heaven the focal point of this question? I tend to think that it's actually pointing towards heaven as a focal point, and that's why I tend to steer away from a question such as this one. Why should God let you into heaven? It seems that heaven is what the person is going to be thinking about. Heaven, let me think about heaven. Okay, now the goal is heaven. I'm thinking about, why should God let me into heaven? Heaven seems to be the driving point of this question, and I rather want to have God and Jesus. Jesus is the center point for our conversation, not heaven. So let's make this conversation about the man in the flesh, God himself, Jesus Christ, and use a question like that rather than a question that would seem to make Jesus in the shadows and rather heaven being at the focal point.